All right. Good morning, evening, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? My name is Hanny Mora from Repurpose.io, and I'm excited here because we have a very close friend, like a real life friend, not like we're talking Facebook friend, like a real friend over 20 years. And he's going to share some awesome content, also a Repurpose.io user. And he's going to talk to us about how to kind of get clients using your content, like using content to generate leads for your business without killing hours and spending hours. So to quickly introduce myself, introduce Steve. First, Steve is a very good friend. We've gone to university together. We've known each other for over 20 years, I think, probably longer. And he got me into blogging way back in probably 2009. He got me into kind of like sharing my content. So he's kind of inspired me to kind of bring me into the online space. And we're in a mastermind together. He teaches me a lot. We share a lot. So he's also a Repurpose.io user. So I thought, it's a perfect opportunity to bring him on and kind of share what he's doing with content, how you guys can learn from kind of his strategies and tips on creating the content, marketing it, and getting exposure with your content. So without further ado, here's my good buddy, Steve Martile. Take it over, man.
Awesome, man. Glad to be here, and thanks. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into content. I'm not going to give this long library directory of what I've done. Short version is, I was an engineer for a long time, marketing consultant now. I do a lot of social marketing, and right now, what I'm using is Hanny's Repurpose. I call it the machine. I'm using the machine to churn out content, so I'm omnipresent on multiple channels. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it to close $5,000 clients. Okay, so I'm not closing $50 or $100 software or plugin or something. This is a $5,000 sale. So how am I doing it? So let me just establish one thing right out the gate. You've got your content kind of marketing, and there's three hubs that I'm going to be talking about under that: the creation, the distribution, and then the marketing of it. So that's the content itself. If you don't have a process to establish trust with people on the phone, and I have a 2-call process, but if you don't have that, then you won't be able to do what I'm doing, okay, which is close. But if you do have that, and I have a program that actually has all of that information on how to do that, and you want to close 1,000, 2,000, 3, 5, 10. I have clients that close up to $50,000, right? Clients on the phone, on Zoom, on Skype. So if you want to do that, then I'll talk more about the end. But for right now, I just want you to know that because I have that process in place, it's making my life a lot easier. All I'm really doing is sending traffic to my calendar using social media, okay? And there's 3 parts to it. There's the content creation, there's the distribution, and then there's the marketing of it, okay? So I'm not going to go on like a big spiel about the creation. The creation can be a lot of different ways. It can be, you can kind of see my tripod there. I get on there, I film an idea, I share something. That's it. 3, 4, 5 minutes. My videos are between 3 and 6 minutes long, okay? Generally speaking. Sometimes 20 seconds. I have a 20-second video, believe it or not. It's part of a course. So you create the content. That's the first thing. And so when you create the content, one of the questions you might have is like, how do you create the content? And my process is really simple. Start with the headline and write it out. Like actually literally either get a pen or your keyboard and type it out. And so I'll give you some headline formulas. One is how to do something incredibly good without the incredibly bad. That one works very well. And I got simple ones just like this. It's just a how-to, okay? So let me just dive right in and show you. Can you see my screen, Hanny?
Not yet, but I'm going to pop you in right, oops.
Okay,
right
so
now.
Cool.
There we go.
Okay, so this is my Facebook page. This is where everything starts, okay? So when I'm using Repurpose, the machine, what I'm doing is I'm basically putting in the raw content and then letting Hanny's software do the work to get it on different platforms so it's the right size, the font set up right, the design is right, it's visible, people watch it. And I'm gonna get into that and how to get people engaged with your content. But like I said, a headline formula I use is how to do something incredibly good without the incredibly bad. So whatever business you're in, whatever you're doing right now, you wanna solve someone's problem. So how to do something incredibly good without the incredibly bad. I have a very simple piece of content. It's how to market your content. You can kind of see it right here. And that's what I did is I publish it there first. Now, here's what happens. When you automate and systemize this, You publish there. Once it goes live on Facebook, boom, it goes automatically to my blog, okay? With Handy Software, right? With Repurpose. And then it goes automatically to my YouTube channel. Boom, now it's on my YouTube channel, right? And then what we do is we automatically publish it to Instagram. Bam, right? This is see how it's a very different looking video, but you got the headline up top. There's the screenshot. And then you can kind of see, like, you'll see me in here, but this is like a talking head type videos, okay? So, and then you want to go to LinkedIn? Bam, there, it's on LinkedIn. Again, a different size, but the design has all got to be set up. So instead of having to manually do this, what Handy Software does is it shoots it out. That's why I call it a machine, because it does all the heavy lifting. It Repurpose basically puts it out in these different platforms, right? Okay, now, so one of the things you might be thinking is, okay, well, what do I do when I create my content? So there's 3 styles of video you can do. Right now I'm doing a hybrid. So there's talking head, okay? So I'll go back. So talking head is when you're just talking on camera. So you can see this one down here, how to track more of your perfect buyers. That's just me talking on camera. That's talking head. That's one style of video. Number 2 is when you do a screen share. So that's this one here. What to say and do in your videos to build credibility. That video is just me sharing a screen, okay? A PowerPoint, okay? And then number 3 is what I'm doing right now. I think my head might be in the corner somewhere, but it's a hybrid where you got your head in the corner and you got the screen share, okay? So those are 3 types of videos. But once you get them on all these different platforms, then it's like, okay, well, how do you market them, okay? So I'm gonna kind of just dive right in. So content creation, then content distribution, Handy Software, the machine, Repurpose has a big play in that. And then the other part of it is, okay, well, how do you market them? So, okay, there's a couple things going on here. So I already have blog organic content. Let me go to my blog first, okay? So how to market your content, right? The video's published there. It was published on May 28th. By the way, I'm going to come back to this later. I don't want to get distracted. Okay. So when you post, when you publish a video, if you've got a WordPress blog, the way I do it is I've got a video, and then what happens is it shows related content below. And I got to find one that has it because those hasn't been set up yet. But yeah, okay. So what to say in your marketing videos in the first 30 seconds. That's like talking head there. And then down here, you see related posts. So what happens is your video generates interest. Someone watches the video, then they watch the other content. Okay, so you're getting people to go deeper into your website, which is what you want. Okay, so that's one way. YouTube, very simple. We set up keywords and we do a little call to action. So every time you do a video, a how-to headline, come up with the keywords for that specific headline. If you have a specific type of video that you want to create, or a content or topic that you want to promote and market, type it in the comments below and then let us know what it is, so then we can help you come up with keywords, come up with a headline with it, and then we'll help you basically so you can start the process, because the beginning is like coming up with the headline. Once you come up with the headline, then you want to share 2 or 3 key ideas in that video that meet the promise of the headline, okay? So how to market, basically how to market with social media, that's what we're doing right now, right? So I'm going to show you 2 to 3 key ideas. Number 1 is how to create content. Number 2 is how to distribute the content. Number 3 is how to market it, okay? I'm gonna share 3 key ideas. And then once you do your video 3 or 6 minutes long, you share those 2 to 3 key ideas, then you wanna have a call to action. Hey, if you wanna learn more, go register for this webinar. Hey, if you wanna learn more, go to my calendar, book some time. Let's see if we can do something together, if we're a good fit, and let's have a conversation, okay? That's what you want to do at the end of your videos. A lot of people miss that. It's like you want to have a call to action. You want to, and the way to think of it is you want to direct people. They were watching up to this point, 4, 5, 6 minutes in the video. What do you want them to do now? Because if you don't get them to do anything, they're either going to go buy your competitors' products, which may be inferior to yours, your services or products, or number 2, they're going to do nothing and their life's not going to change. Boo. Right? You want to make them, you want to have them change their life. So the way you want to do that is have a product or service that you offer that will help them do that. So when you have your call to action, if you don't have a product or service right now, get them to do something. Hey, if you really like this video, you might like this too. I have an email newsletter, I have a webinar, I have something, sign up for it below. Even if you have no content created, get them to give you your name and email, get them to do something, okay? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that's critical. That's the key. You're creating content for a purpose. Yeah,
so it's intentional to drive people to some sort of offer, okay? Now, So you're creating the content, you've got your content created, you got this headline, you got 2 or 3 key ideas, everything's rolling. Now you got to market the content, right? You've been distributing it. Maybe you're using Repurpose, maybe you're not. Maybe you have Repurpose, but you haven't been using it to its full potential. I'm telling you, this is like the end stop. If you really, really want to market your business, you got to be omnipresent. You want to be on multiple channels with multiple videos. And you guys got to remember, like, my first video was back in, I think, 2009. And then I had another video that had over that I published in 2013, has over 400,000 views. So when I was looking at this, I was like, oh, you got to think long term is what I'm saying. It's like, you publish videos today, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, your kids, your other colleagues, other people will find it and will find you anywhere in the world. So it's and I really thought about this the other day. Someone said to me, you know, is this strategy going to work 10 years from now? And I'm like, yeah. It's totally going to work 10 years from now. The exact same thing I'm sharing with you. The only thing that might change is that the platforms will be different. Maybe YouTube won't be around. Maybe LinkedIn won't be around. But there'll be a platform to share content. So to me, sharing content is not going away. It's just like where you share it, the channels, the platforms, and so on. Okay, so you create the content, you distribute it. How many what's the frequency? What I do is I do 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll do training like this. I'll take a couple snippets, 2 or 3 minutes of the whole training, and then I'll shoot that out over a couple weeks. So I'm always looking to create content and value for people. And then as I do that, capture it, take snippets of it, distribute it on all platforms. Again, like I said, Facebook, blog, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. You know what? LinkedIn's really underutilized, and I was surprised. Let me show you something. So one of the things I'm going to show you 2 things. One of the things is that on LinkedIn, you can publish right on your profile. Okay, so you go to the home tab, you start a post, and you can basically, you put in your headline, right? Headline here. You put in your tags. Okay, so whatever your hashtags are for and when you do the hashtags, it's really simple. What is your audience searching for, right? If they're podcasters, they're looking how to grow their podcast. Well, guess what? I'm sure there's a tag that says grow your podcast. That's the tag that they're searching for. That's going to get them looking for your content. But here's what's more even important when you're driving traffic to your video and your content, okay? Is that you want to have comments. You don't underestimate the organic reach of LinkedIn or Instagram or any other platform for that matter, and the value of a comment. So what happens is you get one comment on so you can see this video here, how to market your content. It's got 10 likes, 13 comments, right? But here's the funny thing is that half these comments are mine. They're just me coming and responding to people that commented. And the more people that I respond to, the more people comment. And so why is that important? Because it drives organic viewing reach of your videos. The more comments that you have on a video on any of these platforms, what happens, this is my experience, okay? When you have more comments on the video, what happens is that platform, regardless if it's LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever, counts it as a vote. And those votes, the more votes you have, the more it distributes it organically to get in front of more of your audience. And here's the thing with LinkedIn. If someone likes it or comments on it that is outside your 1st degree network, they're in your 2nd, 3rd degree network, their followers also see it on their profile, just like as it would work on Facebook. The biggest difference between Facebook and LinkedIn is that Facebook's ad platform is so advanced now that you're not seeing as much organic reach, where on LinkedIn, their ad platform is terrible. Their ad platform in the feed is horrific. They've got some cool tools for messaging, but when it comes to running ads, they don't have that dialed in. And because of that, they show more organic posts, okay? So when you create your post, here's another thing you can do. If you don't have a group, and I would do this on Facebook and I would do this on LinkedIn. What I do is, so our process is, I'll share it with you and then I'll explain the benefit to it. Actually, I'll explain the benefit first. Let's say I want to promote this post, okay? How to market your content, okay? Here's the whole post, by the way. It's a headline, tags, video, and then likes and comments, right? So let me show you something. On the top, see these 3 buttons? You hit that. It says recommend this post. Now, I can't do it right now because I just did it last Friday. But what happens is if I go to recommend it, yeah, so it won't let me do it. It says this post has already been recommended. Every 7 days, you can recommend a new post. Well, here's the cool thing. I've got, how many people in this group? We have 13,400 members in this group. So when I go in and I hit these 3 dots and I hit recommend this post, which I can do every 7 days, every one of the people in that group gets notified. And you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, that's a way to market your post, right? Now, how do you build the groups? Okay, well, there's a couple ways to do it, but let me just share one. So here's my process, okay? I have content. I call the value video, and I'm creating a lot of value for people with these value videos. And then what happens is I have a call to action at the end of the video, and then someone can go and book in my calendar to have a conversation about our services. We have a done-for-you marketing service where we basically put you in high-ticket conversations. We're basically driving qualified top-of-the-line leads to your calendar so that you can talk to people about selling a product or service. Typically, you're selling something $1,000 and higher. Like I said, I had one client up to $50,000. He sells this 50 because he knows how to build trust on those conversations, which is another key part to it, as I said at the beginning. But when you're driving people to your calendar, you have a conversation with them. Now, let's say I talk to someone and I find out they're not a fit, or it's not the right time. They're not ready to buy now, which can happen. What I do is I send them to a thank you video. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. So when someone books a call with me, they get sent, I just got to find it now. It's either thank you or you're confirmed. I always forget. I think I got the wrong page. Yeah. Okay, it's sort of like this. But basically what happens is, I got to find it. No, I can't find it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to describe it to you guys because I can't find it right now. So what happens is someone watches a video, they watch 2, 3, they might watch 10 videos, right? And then they book a call with me. We have a conversation. What happens is I automatically send them to this page. The page says, thank you, you're confirmed, your appointment's confirmed. And in the video, I acknowledge them, say, I'll call you the number that you basically booked because they fill in a form. And then what I'll do is I'll say, at the end of that video, I'll explain a little bit more of our done-for-you service, how it works, how we get them omnipresent, how we get in front of people using LinkedIn and Facebook, that sort of thing, right? And then at the end, I make a call to action, right? Because it's really important to have a call to action. So this, remember, I call it the engagement video because they booked an engagement with you. They're now a qualified appointment, okay? So they have the engagement, video comes out, it goes directly to their email because they usually give me their email when they book the call. They give me their phone number, usually a couple other pieces of information. And at the end of that video, after they've booked, I say, hey, just so you know, we're confirmed for our call. This is more about the program. Here's what I'd like you to do next. We have 2 groups. We got one on LinkedIn, one on Facebook. I'd like you to join the groups. Why? What we do is we post content there regularly. We post content to these groups regularly. So if you want to get the latest strategies and tools for building your social presence, then join the groups. And what happens is when people book a call with me, they also join the group. Now, guess there's 2 benefits to that. One is you're getting someone to take an action right after they've taken an action, and you want them to keep making these micro commitments. That's a big part of selling high ticket items is you want to get people to make micro commitments. First, it's filling in the form, then it's joining your group, then it's getting ready for the call, right? You want to give them something to do. So these little micro commitments. The second benefit is now they're part of your group. So even if you're terrible at sales, and really selling is not about like selling, it's about a fit, right? You either have a fit or you don't. If you get at the end of the call, they don't buy anything from you, and they're now part of your group. Well, guess what? Now you can continue marketing to them because they've joined your group on LinkedIn and Facebook. You're posting videos anyways. And guess what? You can go in here, recommend this post, and everyone will get the post. So you get this warm pool of social leads as you're building and getting appointments and building your business. So it's a great way to build your groups in addition to building a warm pool of leads in addition to building your business, okay? So that's like the process from A to Z. I've covered a lot, I understand. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Is there any questions, Hanny?
I just I have a couple of questions, but they're more like just general about you, because a lot of people are just meeting you for the first time, kind of.
Okay, cool.
How, like, hey, how you doing? Get to know you a little bit, and how do you guys start online? But before we get into that, I want to stick with the. I have a few questions as you're going along. You showed the blog, right? And then you had a button on there. So even
right.
Yeah, so you have a call to action in the video, but you also have a call to action below the video. So are they linked up? Like, you got the same call to action in the video with the same call to action below the video in a button format.
Yeah, good point. Okay, yeah, and I'm happy to share more about how I got started. So, okay, so the video has a verbal call to action where you actually have a verbal call to action, generally speaking, right? So you're saying, hey, click this link, go to my calendar. Typically, I say, go to the link below this video. It'll open my calendar and you're free to book a call. What Hanny's software does, what Repurpose does, it also shoots out the video to your blog and adds this button with a specific call to action. Now, I love this because guess why? Because every time I run a promotion, I change this button. And this button goes to a sales letter, right? I'll just show you it. Okay, so this button goes to this sales letter. This is the sales letter. And then at the bottom of the sales letter, you can book a call. Okay, so you can book a call with me. But here's the key thing. This button here, I don't know how many videos. I started publishing in January. I would say I have about 30 videos. Every one of these videos has this button below it. So if I decide I'm going to promote something different this month, I want to get someone to register for a webinar, then I can drive all the traffic from people clicking this button to a webinar registration page. And that's part of Handy software as well.
Nice. Yeah. So just to clarify, those who are Repurpose users, this is a WordPress plugin called Simple Social Press. There's a link inside. It's not part of Repurpose directly, but it is something that you can buy at a discount for Repurpose customers. It's called it's called the Simple Social Press.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So how did I get started? Long story short, I was an engineer for a long time, tired of doing that, wanted to, I came to a point in my life where I was like, I'm doing a job, and I'm like, secretly, I was like, they don't really need this job. So I wasn't delivering my value, my worth. I thought it was worth more than what I was doing. So I decided to do videos, started doing a lot of self-help videos. That's what got my YouTube channel started. Got into coaching. That was totally transformative because I realized that by helping others, I had helped me at the same time so that we both grow. And then it became just a mission of like, okay, how can I transform others? And when I did coaching the first year I did it, which was around, I want to say 2007, it was totally free. Then I got my first paying client. That was the game changer because I was like, I just would do this for free. And now to get paid for it that changed everything. And then Hanny and I started doing some blogging stuff together, and it happened slowly over time. And that's the thing. You got to think long term. If you want to do this to create real freedom for yourself, you got to think long term. Don't think about like, what am I going to do next week? Okay, Bitcoin. Okay, this. Like, everyone's jumping on these trendy things. It's like, this isn't going away as long as you can help people with the need in the marketplace. Then you're set for your entire life. Because the way to think of it is that long before you and I were ever here, there were needs, and those needs have not really changed. People want to feel safe. They want to be. They want to feel socially connected to people, and they want to feel stability and a certainty in their life, right? And financial security, and those are things that people want. And when I say socially, people want to feel a connection with other people. That's why the dating industry is $1 billion industry, because people want to feel connected to other people. Yeah, people want to get married. They want to like have sex and do all this other stuff. But honestly, people just want a connection with another human being, right? So those are the things that don't go away. It doesn't matter how much time goes by. Those things don't go away. So if you market to those needs, then that's why I'm saying that you'll have ample abundance in your business forever, for long term, as long as you're running the business. So that's why I want you to think long term.
Yeah, and you don't know all the answers up front. Like, you didn't know you were going to be here today when you started back in 2007, right? It's an evolution. You just start with something you're good at, you're comfortable teaching, sharing, creating content around, and then just line up the content you like creating with people's needs, right? You're trying to solve people's problems, right? We're all here essentially to help each other and solve problems. And if you can make some money out of it, make it turn into a business, hey, that's a bonus.
Yeah, like I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. Like Hanny's like, you didn't know what you're doing. It's true. Like day to day to day is completely different. Here's what I can tell you internally when I make choices, I'm like, does this feel good? Do I feel more me? Right? Do I feel like the 7-year-old Steve when I was like growing up? And if I do, I do it. If that means playing tennis or running or shooting a video, then I'll do it. If I feel less of me when I'm doing something, then I know it's not for me. So if creating video is a lot out of your comfort zone and you're like, that's not me, then I would say create other content, write articles, do it MP3, run a podcast so that you can be behind the camera, but still get your content out there if that's more of you. I did a lot of writing in the beginning, then I got into video, and video was just like, you know, when you connect with someone who's like, you're like, this is perfect. That was video for me. So that's why I haven't stopped doing it.
Yeah. That's so true. I'm a big fan of video. I've always preferred video over writing, but hey, like stay in your comfort zone. I like that. Do what you're comfortable doing, whether it's writing, talking on a mic through an audio podcast, or shooting videos, or even shooting like screen sharing videos if you don't want to be on camera. There's a lot of options out there, but the key is the content. It's, I mean, you want to deliver it, and you want to deliver your content, get your message, help people with the content you create.
Yeah, like, you know, when you, and this is the other thing is that, so like, if you can just think of ways to serve other people, you know why most people don't create video even though they know it's for them? It's because they're thinking about what they're going to look like on camera. They're worried about what other people are going to say in the comments. And I'll tell you right now is that you never want to come from that place. Always get in a state of how can I serve? Be obsessed with how can I serve? And in the beginning, you're going to do it for free. But as you get a following, as you start to build a momentum with your brand and you get omnipresent so more and more people see you, there's going to be people that don't like you. There's a lot of people that don't like me. And there's a lot of people that like me. Guess what happens? The people that stick around and watch a 6-minute video or a longer term training, those are the people that like me. The people who don't like me, they're not watching this right now. And that's okay.
Yeah. That's the key. That is okay. You don't want them to watch it. If they're not interested in what you're saying or they don't like you, you don't want them as a client anyway. Yeah. So it's actually a good filtering tool.
Yeah.
It's a perfect filtering tool. Awesome. So, I got another question. Oh, you want to keep going? Go ahead.
I'm going to just share one thing and then I'll answer that question. I'll answer as many questions as you guys have for me. So one thing that I do is with a client, and this will be beneficial on the content creation side. So remember, there's content creation, distribution, marketing. So on the creation side, right now, and this is easy to do, write out a list of 10 things that you admire about yourself. If you don't have any clients, write down 10 things you admire about yourself. Okay? Come up with 10. It might take you an hour to come up with it, but if you're really appreciative, it might take you a lot less time. But start with that list. Okay? Now, if you have clients or you have a following, write down 10 things you admire about your following or your clients. Okay? Now, here's what to do once you create. So that's step one. Write that down. Write that list. If you're not going to do it right now, but write a list of 10. Now, why would you do that? What happens is when you start to focus on the things that you appreciate about your following, about you, it starts to amplify. And people who are appreciative, what you'll find is they're louder and they got more to share because you're coming from this place of abundance. So by writing down the list, it gets you in a state of thinking, oh, wow, these are the things I appreciate about my audience. Now, here's the next best thing. When you start to create videos about the 10 things you admire about your following. Why? Because if you admire that and they admire that, then guess what happens? You're going to create content that connects with them, is a better fit with them. And then when you get on a phone call, you're a better fit. So the thing is that if you focus on the thing, appreciating who you already have in your following or what you are and who you are as a person, and then create content based on who you already are, you're going to get more people that are like you on the phone, in conversations, and you're doing business with. And who doesn't want to do that? Everyone wants to do business with people that are like them.
Yeah, I like that. That makes total sense. It's not about you. It's about them. You're serving. Whether you're taking money or not taking money, you're creating content for free or doing webinars, training. Your job is to serve others. So if you put them first and not worry about how you look, it just changes your whole perspective on how you create that content. Just the vibe, the energy you send out is totally different. You're not reserved. You're not like looking at, oh, is my hair okay or whatever. You're just focusing on them, the viewer, whoever consuming your content. I love that. Awesome. So Fred popped a good question here. You talked about pushing it off to Instagram. You want to talk? I mean, I can answer this question, but I'll let you talk about how you do it right now and kind of how this works. So the short answer is not automatic, but you can talk a little bit about that, how the syndication
How to publish
goes.
on Instagram? How to publish on Instagram?
Yeah, because asking does Repurpose automatically syndicate it to Instagram? And the short answer is not directly.
Yeah, you're a better person to answer that than me.
Yeah, I can answer. So basically, it's not direct, but it does create these videos that you saw that Steve shared earlier. That's actually a feature that Steve's been helping me test out. He's on our beta program because he's awesome and everyone's awesome, but he's been helping me really flush out all the bugs. That's rolling out later on this week. But basically, you take a Facebook video and you can automatically make it into a vertical video, which is compatible with IGTV.
Yeah.
And or make a square video, which is compatible with your Instagram feed and or LinkedIn as well. So they go to your Dropbox, and then you grab it from there and you publish it yourself. But they're formatted properly. If you do your captions on Facebook, we'll burn them into the video as well.
Or Fred, and this is the other answer to the question, is like kind of to add to what Hanny's saying. So it publishes to Dropbox. You get your VA in there to your virtual assistant. I mean, they're easy to find. And if you find a good one, what they'll do is they will do all the work, heavy lifting for you to get it published on Instagram. Now you might say, well, why would I do that? I can do it myself. You're right. However, if you can have a VA do it for $5, $6, $7, $8 an hour, and you're reserving your time for those activities, what you're saying is you're saying to your clients, to your following, that's how much you're worth. So what I do is I always find a way to systemize it. I write out all the tasks that I need to do. I fire it out to the VA and I say, you do it. And then guess what happens? I got more brain space to focus on the $100,000 an hour activities. And who doesn't want that, right? So just food for thought.
Yeah, that's a good point. Awesome. Andy's asking about the plugin. It was called simplesocialpress.com. Yeah, that's the plugin that pulls in content from Facebook directly to your blog. Yeah, it could be a Facebook Live or it could be any video. Actually, speaking of that, I want Steve was showing you that I know a lot of us here, probably a lot of Repurpose users use Facebook Live as their primary content. It's awesome if you do live. I'm a big fan of live myself, but Steve's approach is exactly the same, except that he makes the videos on his phone, right? I'm on your phone on a tripod, and then you upload it to Facebook. So the process is the same, whether you're doing it as live, a Facebook Live, or you're doing it as a video you record on your phone that you upload to do some minor edits, upload it to Facebook. So either way, whatever you're comfortable with, just go with it. And to me, my personal feelings are when I do pre-recorded videos, they never make it out to the world. I'm a perfectionist. I like do 5 million takes because I like, it's gotta be perfect. I find when I go live, hey, I'm live, just generate the content and just get out there and talk. So those who hate editing and fear like too much of a perfectionist, going live will help cure that for you. That way you just put the content out there and it's done. It's never going to be perfect. Just get the content out, get your message out, and don't worry about editing if that's something that you feel will slow you down.
Awesome. Henny, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I want to share one other thing. This is kind of this is more if you guys get into sponsored ads, and we do this for our clients, okay? And if you want to talk to me about that, I'm happy to chat with you. But let me just show you something. So can you see my blog still?
I'm going to just share, go this way. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so I've got this video, right? How to productize your service, and it's got 31 views, okay? So it was published, I think, last week. Here's what's cool about this. You can go in, because this is a Facebook video, the views, that data, who watched the video is being captured by Facebook, okay? That's the way it's set up right now. So someone watches the video, it's captured by Facebook. I can go in and retarget that person on Facebook as a paid sponsored ad, and I can send them another video. I can send them an offer. I can send them one of the two. And then that will drive people to a landing page or my calendar or whatever. But the bottom line is that if you start posting socially, you're going to get organic traffic at some point. And if you use Hanny's software and you're publishing Facebook to the blog, those blog videos are getting views. And see all these videos here. I've got 31 views on this one, 15 on this one, 7 on this, 75 views on this. All these people, it's building an audience. Those people I can retarget and send them another ad. That's where you take things to another level. Like I said, you want to be everywhere all of the time. And this is how to do it.
I love that. I love two things. One, that the view on your blog. So someone watching on your blog, Facebook can still track them, which is awesome. So whether they watch it on Facebook or they watch it on your blog, you still get the view. You can still track that person and serve them ads and offers. And two, like Facebook is your starting point. And that's why I always tell people in Repurpose as well, like make Facebook your starting point for your primary content and then repurpose from there, because Facebook has these awesome tracking abilities so that you can send ads to people who consume a little bit or a lot or the entire video. You decide. You kind of break it down how you want it. But Facebook gives you these tools to do it. So that's why I always highly recommend, especially on a Facebook page, use that as your starting point when you upload content and then repurpose that content from there onwards.
Awesome. That's the game, right? The thing is that if you want to generate a following from this, it's about being omnipresent. If you and let me add to this, because I'm kind of speaking from a place where I am now, but I want to go back to when I was like 2009. I was coming up with my first video. It takes courage. It takes courage to have something so important to share with people that you're going to get over your fear of being on camera to do it. Okay. And once you get past that and you had the courage to do it, that's when the money starts coming in, because you're doing something that a lot of other people won't do, which is to take one video that you created one time and put it in 5 or 6 different places so that more and more people can see it. And I can tell you from my own experience that the more that you do that, the more you'll have people inbound coming to you saying, I want to work with you. I'd like to talk to you. And sometimes they're not even people that I can work with, but that's okay. So I always try to make sure I add value to those people as well. So the real game here is like, how can I maximize my efficiency, my performance, and like get a 3-minute video in front of as many people as possible every week. And if you think about that as like a starting point, then 6 months, a year from now, damn, if you want to have like a huge YouTube following or Facebook following on your page or a huge blog following, it's not out of the question. You just got to stick to it and really make it happen. And one of the things that Henny and I, and this is part of the reason I think we're having this training today, Henny and we're talking about this, is like a lot of people, even though he's got these new features with, using Repurpose to put the videos on Instagram and on LinkedIn, that sort of thing, which is awesome. A lot of people are not utilizing the full potential of his software. And so what I'm saying is, if you want to utilize the full potential of his software, utilize the full potential of you. Get yourself out there, get the courage to really get out there, make an impact. And when you do that, what will happen is you're going to need his software to do it. And then you'll want to use it. Okay. So just my message for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I think you're right. Like, it's about education. It's about like having good content that you want to repurpose out there and be omnipresent with it. All right. I wanted to say one thing, but I can just remember. Before we kind of wind down here, I was trying to say, I know Steve said he's an engineer and all this stuff, but like, if you're thinking this is too hard, too technical, that kind of stuff, it's not. His energy, his focus is on serving, on creating the content and serving. And the rest is automated, and the rest is done through, the help of VAs and that kind of stuff. So I know, like, people get intimidated by technology and stuff like that. Keep it as simple as possible. He's got his phone, he's got his tripod, he shoots a video, he uploads it to Facebook, and then combination of software and a little help from VA to do some transcriptions, and the job is done and the content is everywhere. So don't be intimidated. It's not about tech. It's about workflows, systems, and generating content that people want to hear and listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to do this with us and you want help to do it so that we can help you do this, and basically you partner with us, Henny, I don't know. I guess I could put a link right on. I'll put it right underneath the video.
Yeah, I'll put it up here. I think this is the link, right? StevenMartile.com/endless.
Yeah, throw that on there.
Yeah, so I popped it up there.
So that training itself that's not a done for you. That is, here's how I do it. And if you guys want to know how I do it, I've got a special credit. I've got like a $1,200 credit on your account because you're part of Hanny's tribe. So you can get the training for $7.99. That's if you want to do this, build your funnel. And remember, the way I do it, it's about getting conversations. So if you want conversations, you want to get more coaching calls, more consulting calls, you're an entrepreneur and you want to sell more high ticket training or services, you have a done for you service of your own, and you want to learn how we do it. Basically this training is the work and the sweat of me trying to figure out how to do it for my clients and do it for myself. And then I was like, okay, we finally got it. We got it dialed in. Why don't we sell it as a training at a huge discount to Hanny's tribe? And that's why there's a big discount on it. So if you want to buy the training yourself and do it yourself, that's what that is. If you want us to do it for you and you want to have a conversation about partnering with us, then you want to go to stevenmartile.com. Okay. No forward anything. So there's a letter there. And on that page, bottom, you can read about who it's for, what we do, how it works. Then you go to that link, you read the sales letter. It's what it is. It's basically a letter. And then at the bottom of it, there's a link to my calendar, and then you can find some times that we can book to have a conversation if you want to talk more about working together. That's if you've got something more high ticket to sell. That's if you want the done for you, but you also want to sell more of your service. So generally speaking, our clients are looking, to make 30, 40, 50, up to $100,000 a month. So this is like high ticket selling. Okay. It's not like I'm selling a book for $25 or a software for $100. This is more of a high ticket service. So like I said, if you got a done for you service, if you target business owners, if you're a coach or business coach or you're a consultant, you target business owners, or you work in other markets. You don't have to be business to business. You could be business to consumer. You could be working with people on their health. You can be working with people in their socially. You could be working with people that are trying to get into better careers. It could be any niche at all, but it's something high ticket to sell. You sell something that is where you develop a process of trust with people, and then what you do is you offer something that they can work with you for 6 or 12 months, that sort of thing. Okay, and if you want to learn how to sell something high ticket, because you're like, okay, I see the value in doing this because now I only have to talk to 3-4 people a week. And if I close one, that's $5,000 a week or whatever. And you're like, oh, $20,000 a month. That sounds like a good type of business to start. Then you go to the first link that Hanny shared you, because that's exactly step-by-step how you do it. That's the stevenmartile.com/endless. That specific training, in 15 days, if you work a couple hours a day for 15 days straight, you are campaign ready. And they will. And what it does is once you set up and deliver and deploy that campaign, it's driving highly qualified, highly relevant, top of the line client leads into your calendar so that you can build that business. And if you don't even know how to sell something high ticket, I actually have a module right in there that tells you exactly how to write out your program, your high ticket program. That's the stevenmartile.com/endless. It's the endless client leads system. Okay.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Just going to have a quick look to see if anybody's got any more last minute questions.
Yeah, shoot. You got any questions at all? Just let me know.
Yeah, if anybody's got questions, feel free to fire them up. I think we covered them all right now. So do you want to do like a 10-second recap and kind of closing words, kind of get people all fired up to kind of what to do next? Besides checking out stevenmartile.com/endless, like what, if someone's been pumping out content but not getting results, like what, like just quickly summarize and then get something to inspire people to kind of take their content to the next level to get more leads.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if you are creating content and you have been doing it, you've been in the game, and you're not generating any clients from it or any money from it, then here's what I want to say to you is that number one, write down the 10 things you admire about your clients. You're probably attracting the wrong people. You're probably thinking, I need money or I need to make money. And then the clients are watching your content and they're like, I just want to change people's lives. I don't want to make money. And then there's a mix. It's like oil and water. So very, very first thing, what do I admire? 10 things I admire about myself. If you don't have any clients, if you got clients and you got a following, you have people that kind of emailed you or interested in working with you or buying something from you, those are your followers. If you have 5 of those, write down the 10 qualities about those specific 5 people. Next, after you've done that, go create content, number 1, based on the things that you admire about those people, because that's you, right? No better person to attract than someone that's like you. Go create content. Start with a headline, how to create something incredibly good without the incredibly bad, okay? Second, once you create the content, shoot the video, shoot it on your phone, just do like a selfie. Just do a selfie, dude. Just shoot it, clip it, get it in there, share 2 to 3 key ideas and a call to action. If you really like this video, you might like this too. There's a link below. It goes to my calendar, or send me an email here if you want to talk to me about this. Awesome. You're done. Distribute. If you don't have Repurpose, get Repurpose because you're going to need it. Get it on all the platforms. Get omnipresent. Get on YouTube. Get on Facebook. Get on Instagram. Get on LinkedIn. Start with at least 1 or 2 platforms and then migrate to as many as you can. Okay? Now, distribution's done. Go out and market your content. Start the groups on LinkedIn. Comment on the posts. Comment on other people's posts. That's how you drive traffic back to your posts. You do that, you're in the game. And now it's just a matter of be patient. Be patient and stick it. Be patient, right? It's like if you want to lose weight, you got to do it. You got to eat right, number 1, and you got to have, you got to stay active. But you got to do that every week. It's not just this week. Same thing with content marketing. You want to be in the content marketing game. You want to increase your presence, change more people's lives, make more money. You got to do the same thing. You got to create the content. You got to distribute it. You got to market it. And you got to do that week after week after week. How long is that going to take you? If you do it all yourself, maybe it takes 4 or 5 hours a week. And that is your business that you're building on the side while you're trying to figure this whole thing out. But create content that connects with you. Don't just share stuff to share stuff. Steve Jobs in an interview said, we don't create and market crap. And that's why he was so obsessed with creating the best products. Do the same thing with your videos. Make them as good as you can and make them connect with your audience. Speak directly to them. Okay.
Awesome, man. That's well said. I learned that from you recently. Our last one of the last 2 times we called is like, you want to attract the people that are like you, and I like that. I feel it. Like I want customers who think like me, want to help others out there. So by putting content out, you attract the right people that are like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, man. Well, I think that's all the comments. We've been going for just under an hour. Any last questions? Feel free to drop them in. But otherwise, Steve, man, it's awesome. We should do this more often. Yeah, it's been awesome. Like you sharing all this content and just inspiring people. Like I know you're always tinkering. You're always learning as well. Like you're getting onto Instagram, right? People are always afraid, oh, I don't have a following on Instagram. You got on Instagram, you're building that following, you're generating content. Like you got to dive in. Nobody starts off with 1 million followers, right? Everyone starts with 1 and then they grow from there. So exactly. And I see it because we're on a call almost every week and I see like I'm tackling this platform, I'm tackling that platform, I'm getting engagement, I'm getting people to like it, comment it. So you're doing all the right things and you're not afraid to do it. And that's what it's all about. It's just, you just got to plow through it, get that content out and do it consistently.
If you're, and this is for the person who's a marketer, if you're a marketer and you're watching this and you're like, okay, I'm a marketer, I do funnels, I do webinars, I do emails and all this stuff. And you're like, okay, I do bots, which I do all those things. Mm-hmm. Guess what social does? It augments that. So it's like someone just went through your chatbot sequence and then boom, they see a video on LinkedIn or they see a video on YouTube. Mm. Oh, I forgot about that guy, Steve, or I forgot about Jimmy, or I forgot about Fred, right? They forgot about you. The only reason people won't buy from you is because they forgot about you. That's why you want to be omnipresent, so that you're everywhere all of the time. So if you do email funnels, if you do webinar funnels, if you do bot funnels, all that stuff is good. But what I'm saying is it augments what you're already doing. So because a lot of those things, bots, webinars, even email funnels, they can be automated. You set them up, even cold emails, automated, and it's done. And then you just maybe you monitor it 30 minutes a week. Well, what are you doing in the meantime? Social. Get on the social. And social is a great way to learn about your audience. You're going to see comments. Oh, I liked what you posted there, Fred, but I was just wondering about this. Boom, you got your next idea for your video. And it's like that trickle effect that Henny was talking about. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. It's like, I don't even know what content I'm creating. I know I start today. Someone's going to leave a comment. They're going to ask me something I hadn't thought about. Oh, that's what they want to learn? Done. That's the next video. That's how it works. It's a breadcrumb trail. You just follow it.
Awesome, man. That's well said. That's an awesome way to end this video and this training. Well, thanks everyone. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments. And if you're watching the replay, drop in the comments. Steve and I will jump in, we'll reply back on any questions you have on the replay. So just hit us up and we'll be happy to help.
Awesome.
And thanks everyone for joining us live, and we'll talk to you soon.